Welcome back to the program. The fate of Prince Andrew is hanging in the balance this morning, with a judge right now deciding whether the royal will stand trial over sex abuse claims.
We have reporters watching this case closely in the United States and the UK. Let's start with correspondent Michael Genovese in the US, where the hearing took place this morning. Jenna, after all this, there's a chance now the case could be thrown out.
Yeah, it could. A decision on that could come in the coming hours or in the coming days. We simply don't know. New York Judge Lewis Kaplan said that he'll make his mind up, quote, pretty soon. The judge was pretty critical of Prince Andrew's case this morning as royal lawyers try to get this case thrown out. Australian Virginia Giuffre is accusing Prince Andrew of having sexually assaulted her while she was underage. Most of today's hearing centred around that once secret document. This is the settlement deal that was signed between Prince Andrew's friend, Jeffrey Epstein, and his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, back in 2009. Now, as part of that deal, she accepted $700,000 and dropped the case against Epstein. She also agreed in that case to not sue any other potential defendants. Now, Prince Andrew argues that he fits into that category. Whether or not a judge believes him, that's the decision that we're now waiting on.
Well, let's bring in Europe correspondent Brett McLeod, who's in London for us this morning. Morning, Brett. The Palace will be watching this very closely as well. The Queen facing some big decisions of her own.
Well, given that her son is very much in the spotlight and also, in a sense, in hiding with her. He spent most of his time at Windsor Castle ever since this blew up a couple of years ago in that disastrous BBC interview. He hasn't been stripped of any titles, but he's under enormous pressure to hand them back, particularly those to do with his military career. He's a colonel in the Grenadier Guards. It's his most senior honour, and he has been asked by a veteran of the Grenadier Guards to hand that title back. He's also patron of many, many charities associated with the royal family. He has been virtually recluse for the past couple of years. The pressure will be on the Queen, though, because she's in the spotlight as much as ever this year. It's her 70th anniversary. She's the first British monarch to reach a platinum jubilee. It's very, very unlikely we'll see Prince Andrew anywhere near her in public during the next year.
Brett, we appreciate it. Thank you, Jenna, as well. We'll keep across that story and give it to you as soon as the details come in from that judge in New York. Andrew's fate hangs in the balance this morning, with the New York judge's decision on whether to dismiss sexual assault allegations by Virginia Giuffre looming. For more, we're joined by the royal editor at ITV News, Chris Shipp in London. Chris, good morning from here. Good evening for you. In a hearing held just hours ago, the Duke's lawyers said it should absolutely be dismissed. Do we know when that decision will come, and is that what you're hearing from inside the courtroom?
Well, I, as you can tell, being in London, dialed in remotely into this court case, which was happening in New York. From everything I listened to in that case earlier today, it didn't seem to me that the judge was looking very favourably on the arguments being put by Prince Andrew. He wasn't very receptive. He was very tough and sharp in his questioning of Prince Andrew's lawyer, much more so than he was of the other side, the lawyer for Prince Andrew's accuser, Virginia Giuffre. And the judge said that he would make a decision, to use his words, pretty soon. But he didn't tell us what pretty soon meant, whether that was an hour, a day or a week. So we're all now waiting to see exactly what Judge Kaplan has decided.
This all comes after details of that secret settlement between Virginia Giuffre and Jeffrey Epstein were made public. Why is that significant in this case?
Well, look, it's all based on this settlement. This is the 2009 agreement that Virginia Giuffre made with Jeffrey Epstein. And in it, there's a particular phrase here where they said that she wouldn't take any further legal action against someone who was considered a potential defendant. Therefore, if Prince Andrew's lawyers can argue that he is one of those potential defendants, they've got a case, they think, to say that Virginia Giuffre can't take any legal action against him. Well, the other side disagrees, as you wouldn't be surprised to hear. They say Prince Andrew didn't know about the existence of this. He doesn't appear in this. And I think particularly damaging for him today was that the case was put in the court, that this document was all about those who were doing the trafficking of girls. But as it was alleged in court today, Prince Andrew was one of those to whom girls were trafficked. Now, of course, he denies all the allegations that have been made against him.
If this case is allowed to roll on, we know the nightmare rolls on for the royal family. If it's thrown out, though, what role do you expect Prince Andrew to play moving forward, given he wouldn't have at that stage been charged or convicted of anything?
Well, look, I know there's a view in his camp that they don't want this to go to trial. They are trying to get rid of this at the moment on the legal technicality. That is, of course, their right. But as they point out as well, even if you look at Meghan Markle, she went to trial with the Mail on Sunday newspaper. She won it. And yet plenty of things came out in that trial that she rather didn't. So they don't want this to go to trial. But I think the Duke will keep hold of things like his titles. There's been a lot of talk in the UK whether he'll lose some of his military titles. Of course, they can't really do any of that until he has been proven to be guilty. At the moment, these are only allegations, and they are allegations that he has denied.
We watch and wait for that pretty soon to come. Chris, we appreciate your time this morning.